antibiotics. How about stopping eating when I am full of? How about them transparent dangling carrots? How about that ever elusive kudo? Thank you, India. Thank you, terror. Thank you, disillusionment. Thank you, frailty. Thank you, consequence. Thank you, silence. How about me not blaming you for everything?
This next story is so unbelievable, we didn't think it could possibly be true.
I lived in the area east of Port Igor, about 5 or 6 blocks.
We all grew up pretty much around my grandmother at the time.
Documents released in the 90s show the Army placed sprayers on this former Knights of Columbus building on Lindell and in Forest Park.
Man, with this newly discovered force, has at long last gained the upper hand in our age-old struggle. It came from laboratories where top scientists from famous universities and from industrial and government organizations collaborated to develop something new and different. They succeeded.
I've had acquaintances that has had illnesses, undiagnosed illness, but I never, years earlier, associated it with the testing.
Public health departments staged demonstrations to convince the public of DDT's effectiveness and safety. Enthusiasm for the chemical knew no bounds, and few were questioning the wisdom of such use.
These sprays, dust, and aerosols are now applied almost universally to farms, gardens, forests, and homes. Non-selective chemicals that have the power to kill every insect, the good and the bad, to still the song of birds and the leaping of fish in the streams. All this, though the intended target may be only a few weeds or insects.
They had no concern about where they sprayed it. They would just come down the street. Kids were playing in the street. They continued to spray. It didn't matter to them.
The stage is set for the Desert Rock atomic test in Nevada.
Down and stay down. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3,
Training films made from operations like this prepare troops for both the military tactics and emotional impact of fighting on an atomic battlefield.
The biggest value of the operation is for us to prove to ourselves that it can be done.
Even as the effects of radiation become a subject of concern and study, it would still be years before its full impact is understood.
As they enter the blast area, within an hour after the detonation, they realize the danger of radiation sickness from an air burst is slight.
There are early episodes in which radioactive fallout is dismissed as not a major health concern, something that could be handled very easily.
A thorough head-to-foot examination will reveal any accumulation of radioactive material. Vigorous sweeping with a broom removes contaminated dust and dirt from shoes and clothing.
In the end, Desert Rock is comprised of 5 different test operations. each with multiple detonations, 69 in all. More than 50,000 troops participate.
This is the story of a 30-year search by U.S. intelligence agencies to perfect mind control. Some of those engaged in that search have agreed to talk about it for the first time. To a Spanish bull ring, the bull has had electrodes implanted in the brain and is controlled by a scientist. There would be victims. One intelligence agency tried to peel this man's mind back to reveal its deepest secrets.
I'll live through it.
This man worked on some of these programs. He would write of his work, it was fun, fun, fun. Call Lovell his Dr. Moriarty, after the fiendish professor in Sherlock Holmes. Lovell liked the name and posed for this Saturday Evening Post photo. He later wrote of his OSS job that it was, quote, to stimulate the PEC's bad boy beneath the surface of every American scientist and to say to him, throw all of your normal law-abiding concepts out of the window. Here's a chance to raise merry hell. It was in this atmosphere that the search for mind control began. This bizarre man would be an active participant in that search over the next 2 decades. His name is George White, an OSS captain who had formerly been with the Bureau of Narcotics. In his diary, seen here publicly for the first time, White left a legacy of the darker side of American intelligence work. Dr. Milton Klein, a psychologist, a clinical and experimental hypnotist, and unpaid consultant to the CIA.
The qualifications would be the subject selected to produce the kind of behavior that you wish, the amount of time, the procedures that are utilized, and the motivations of the people who are designing, executing, and administering the procedures. You're asking whether an individual can be, under hypnosis, influenced, coerced, persuaded, shaped to perform an antisocial act, or a destructive act, or an act of violence. My answer would be yes.